Kite Catchers. Oliver, the Western engine, loves to pass the big field by the line near Tidmouth Station. In the big field he sees children playing football and lots of other games too. Every day Oliver whistles to the children as he passes by, and the children wave and cheer to him back. This makes Oliver very happy indeed. One day Oliver was puffing along the branch line with his coaches. He was meeting James at the station. As he passed the field, he saw the children racing left, right, up and down the field. Oliver was puzzled until he saw the children pulling different coloured shaped objects in the sky. Oliver stopped by the field. "What are they?" he asked. "They are called kites," said his driver. "They are special toys that children can play with in the wind." And he explained to Oliver how they work. Oliver was impressed. He watched as the kids swooped here, there and everywhere. "Come on, old boy," said the fireman. "Time we were on our way." But Oliver didn't want to go. He wanted to watch the kites, but he knew he must be on time, so he puffed away to Tidmouth Station. As he puffed into the station, James was waiting with his passengers. Oliver puffed alongside him.
"Where have you been?"
he asked.
"I've waited a long time for you."
"Sorry, James," wheezed Oliver. He told James all about the kites he saw at the big field. James snorted.
"Why are you wasting time watching kites in the air?"
he wheezed.
"Kites are a waste of time."
But Oliver wasn't listening to him. He was thinking about the kites. "I'd like to fly a kite," he said. "I bet it's fun."
"Engines can't fly kites,"
said James.
"What a silly thing to say."
And James puffed away with Oliver's passengers. But Oliver thought flying kites would be a very exciting thing to do. "Maybe I could fly a kite," he said to his driver. "Now that would be fun." "Don't be silly," laughed his driver. "How could you fly a kite?" Oliver didn't know, but he was sure he would try. Just then the guard blew his whistle and Oliver set off. As Oliver puffed along the track towards Bulgy's Bridge, he saw the Fat Controller and Lady Hat with Stephen and Bridget. He could see they were flying a kite. Oliver had to stop at a signal. "Good," he smiled, "I can watch the kite." Just then Butch Breakdown chugged up towards the bridge. He tooted his horn. "Hello, Oliver," he tooted. "What are you doing?" "Hello, Butch," whistled Oliver. "I'm watching that kite fly over there." Butch laughed, but then he looked and gasped. "Oliver, look!" he cried. Oliver looked and saw that Stephen and Bridget were struggling against the wind. "Hold it!" cried Stephen. "I'm trying!" groaned Bridget. Suddenly the string holding the kite snapped, and the kite flew away. Everyone was sad. "Now what?" moaned Stephen. Then Oliver's signal changed to green, but Oliver was worried. Then he had an idea. "Butch, catch that kite," he said. "I'll chase it too. That way we may be able to catch it before it flies away." Oliver set off quickly. "On my way, youngster," agreed Butch, and he chugged away after the kite. But first he pulled up to the field. Butch's driver opened his window. "Sir, we'll catch that kite and bring it back," he called. Then Butch rolled away. Stephen and Bridget waved goodbye, and the Fat Controller and Lady Hat watched with worry. Oliver raced down the track as fast as he could. His driver kept an eye on the kite, while the fireman kept an eye on Oliver's fire. Come along," Oliver called to his coaches. Butch soon caught up with Oliver and was soon on the chase. We can do it, choked Butch. Then Oliver saw a crossing ahead. "Bother, I'll have to stop," he moaned. He came to a stop. Butch choked by. "Come on, youngster, 2 helmets are better than 1, said Butch. Gates opened again and Oliver raced on. The passengers looked out of the window and saw what was happening. The guard explained about the chase. The passengers were very excited. They leaned out of the window and cheered for Oliver and Butch. "Go, Little Western!" they cheered. This made Oliver and Butch feel happy. The kite flew further and further away from them. Oliver whistled long and loud. I can't give up now, he whistled. The Fat Controller and his family are counting on me and Butch. Then the road and rail went different ways. Butch wasn't worried at all. Don't worry, Oliver, he called. One of us will catch it. Good luck, Butch, called Oliver, and he raced on away from the road. Oliver watched as the kite flew over the hill. He raced towards the tunnel, which went through the hill. As Oliver puffed out, he saw the sea up ahead.
It's heading out to sea,
he shouted. The driver called out a message to the guard to send a message to the airfield. The guard did so. When the inspector heard the news, he ran to Harold. Harold's blades whirred and stirred, and he was soon up in the sky. It didn't take Harold long to catch up with Oliver. I'll get it, dear chap, he called and whirred away. Good luck, Harold, whistled Oliver. But as they got closer to the sea, the wind was picking up. The inspector had a plan. He flew in front of the kite and tried to blow it in the opposite direction. This was an impossible task, but at last it was beginning to work. It worked too well. The kite flew down and into a tree. Luckily it landed near Tidmouth Holt Station. Oliver raced in out of puff. The driver and fireman quickly jumped out of the cab and raced towards the tree. The station master and porter went after them with a ladder. The ladder was put up against the tree and the driver climbed up to the kite. Everyone watched as Oliver's driver grabbed the kite. We've got it, he cheered. Well done, cheered the station master. The passengers cheered and clapped. Then Butch arrived out of breath. He was delighted when he saw what had happened. We did it, he cheered. Well done, everyone. The driver climbed down from the tree and carried the kite back to Oliver. Soon the Fat Controller arrived with Lady Hat, Stephen and Bridget. They gasped when they saw what happened, just as Harold hovered over the station. We caught your kite, explained Oliver. Me, Butch and Harold all helped to get it back. Well done, all of you, smiled the Fat Controller. You have all worked very well together. Your efforts have proved you all to be really useful. Oliver, Butch and Harold beamed with pride. Stephen and Bridget were delighted as the driver gave them back their kite. They wanted to do something to say thank you.
Grandpa, can Oliver fly our kite, please?
They asked. The Fat Controller laughed. Steam engines can't fly kites, he chuckled.
How can that be possible?
Chuckled Lady Hat. Then the driver had an idea. He repaired the kite and tied the other end of the string to Oliver's buffer. Then he threw the kite into the air. Everyone watched as the kite swooped up and down, left and right. Harold's propeller blades blew gently to guide the kite. James puffed in with his passengers. He was surprised to see Oliver flying the kite. He gasped when he saw a piece of string attached to Oliver's buffer.
Are you flying a kite?
He gasped. Before Oliver could say anything, a big gust of wind blew the Fat Controller's hat off his head, and it landed on a fence hook. Oliver saw a chance to be cheeky. Why don't you get the Fat Controller's hat back? He said to James. Then maybe the Fat Controller will let you wear it to say thank you.
Engines don't wear hats,
snorted James. The drivers, firemen and all the passengers laughed and laughed. Even the Fat Controller laughed too. And Oliver and Butch tooted and whistled loudly together.